So the idea of bringing you together, not only you guys, but all of you, is that we all have different backgrounds and different solutions. So by working together, we can find joint solutions. We can address common ground and then find different things. So the idea of the network is precisely to get you guys to think together on common goals and have common values. So we have a target in the end. So that was the idea of having a panel so diverse. And you know, you're coming from a country which basically is very different from the African continent. And we have a discussion in UNDP if you can actually apply what's happening in your region into other countries. And I think that's very difficult to do because of the context. Different backgrounds, you know, education-wise, connectivity-wise, it's very diverse. So, but you can still learn from those other countries.
For me, it's a great opportunity to be able to just network and get to hear and learn from everybody else. I've only been in this sector for 3.5 years, and I've pretty much just been learning. And I'm enjoying the discussions, and I really look forward to continuing with this network and getting to explore all the great opportunities. I've seen a lot happen in the last 3 years, whether it's tech hubs that have suddenly sprung up, innovations, opportunities, Africa being involved in the discussion. And yeah, for me, it's just a great opportunity, and I really look forward to continuing to learn and maybe seeing you guys again some other time in some other setting.
As we agree on the next framework of MDGs, we are really trying to have youth development as one of the cores, so that we ensure that the government will be able to invest and prioritize youth development in the next MDGs framework. So we hope that this network will go a long way in improving the life of young people.
In Africa, and well, as I work in Kenya, but I see the same in many other African countries. There is the young people are very vibrant. Innovation does not exactly mean the same that it might mean in more developed economies. There can be totally new products and totally new ideas coming up from Africa. There can also be adaptation, and very often that in itself is innovation, adaptation of ideas that have worked elsewhere, but how do you make them work in Africa? There is also new ways of solving problems, taking into consideration the particularities of not just the African continent, but because very often they are common to all developing economies, and solutions that are coming from African countries can very well apply to South American countries or Asian countries, because at times some of these problems are very, very similar.
Then, yeah, of course, some of the ideas that we're doing, they've already been done, and we're trying to put them in a different context, which actually connects to your point. No, of course, we cannot, we've seen in development that we can't copy-paste what's been done, for example, in Kosovo, or what's been done in Africa to Kosovo. However, I think we can draw some basic principles which can be applied in other contexts, and then the exact specifications will depend on the municipal. It will depend on the community that we work with, because even within the same country, if we work with different communities, there's a very high risk that are even neighbors to each other, that the same application, the same solutions will not work. But some basic principles of collaboration, of I'd say openness in general, of trying to understand what's been already doing and what the interests of the communities are. I think that this can actually be applied globally.
So innovation is a means to an end. So we should not say it's a solution. And I agree with Joseph when you say that innovation in developing countries is different from innovation in Silicon Valley for many, many reasons. And why? Because you have needs locally who they will not solve in Silicon Valley. They have no interest in having innovation done in those niches where we have gaps in developing countries because they have other needs. And the best example of this is the pharmaceuticals. They have developing antibiotics, TB, malaria medicines. Why? Because the market is in, in drugs for, for depression, so forth, and so on and so forth, and they're right. So we need to have a development countries embrace those gaps. So it's an opportunity here, even for entrepreneurs, because they will have no interest in putting any money in the small markets. And I think that's a win-win situation. So if we have these principles of demand-driven, inclusive, and participatory, we are making human development happen. And innovation actually should be a tool to make that happen.